Breakdown Show. This is your man Roscoe Squeeze Off doing a sports edition show. Well, last night we entered into what I will call the Zion Williamson Nike shoegate. Now, the reason I say shoegate is because the shoe, if anybody saw the game last night, Duke was playing North Carolina, and somehow or another, with 33 seconds into the game, Zion's dribbling cross court near the top of the key, foul line area, and he went to cut back to the opposite direction, and his shoe literally split in two. His Nike Paul George's 2.5 actually split in two. It caused him to fall awkwardly on his knee. It looked much worse than what they're reporting. They're saying it's just a mild sprain, but it looked like he blew his knee out. I mean, he immediately grabbed for his knee. He was in intense pain. Now, just doing some scouring around the internet, I saw one site that said that it appeared that his shoes were already worn. Like he had options of shoes he has a ton of options of shoes he can wear. He normally prefers to wear the Kyrie 4 or 5s, Kyrie Irving 4 or 5s. He wears the LeBrons quite often, but he loves the Paul Georges. And from what they say, Paul George's shoes like the cheapest ones out. I believe they're like $110, where most of the shoes are well above that. And actually, they're selling them right now online for like $89. I don't know if that's because Nike's stock has fell 1.8% just today alone since that happened last night. Now, of course, I'm wondering if these sites are going to put out that it's worn, because it looks very bad, because that was a nationally televised game. That's the biggest and probably best rivalry in college basketball sports. Probably. I mean, that's just a definitive fact. That's the most notarized game played pretty much year in, year out. Last night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, you have the former President Barack Obama there. You had LeBron James. You had a bunch of stars there checking out the game. And, they said the only sports event that had higher ticket prices this year or in the last year was the Super Bowl. I mean, they were tickets going for $2,500 a seat there, if you got the floor seats. So, it had all eyes on me type of scenario. And everybody wants to see Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson is a Player of the Year candidate. He's most likely, or seems to be, he will go number one, barring health and injury. I mean, the guy is 6'7", 285 pounds, has a 43-inch vertical. He is probably the closest thing to Dominique Wilkins' human highlight film, which is what they call Dominique Wilkins back in the day, the human highlight film. And that's what Zion is. I mean, he gets a couple steals every game. He has exciting dunks every single game. Every single game, he has his own highlight film from the spectacular things he does, whether blocking shots, dunks, steals. I mean, just guys exciting. And so most people come out to see him or to check into what he's doing. And like I said, 33 seconds into it, going cross court, switches directions, shoe rips in half, he falls awkwardly, looks like he blows his knee out. Luckily, that's not the case. But he was wearing Nikes that appeared to look like new Nikes to me. Like I said, I've seen on a website where they're saying that they were a little worn, which he doesn't have to pay for shoes. I mean, Duke has a Nike contract. They don't disclose how much they get paid. I know Kentucky, I believe they just re-up for like 4 or 5 years for like $30 million that they get paid from Nike to just wear Nikes. The guys don't have to pay for them on the team. They pick what they want. They get options of whatever they want. They can try whatever they want to try and wear whatever they want to wear. And so I don't. It's hard for me to believe that he'd be wearing worn out shoes when he gets them. He can wear new shoes. What 18-year-old kid is not going to wear new sneakers if given the ability to do so? So it just looks like those Paul Georges, which is a very popular brand of shoe. Paul George 2.5 and the Paul George 2 in general, which has been a very popular shoe. It looked like they just fell apart. So that's why I call it shoegate, because I'm expecting a lot of backtracking. I just saw a report that came out in the Chicago Tribune about an hour ago that says that they're investigating into the shoes, finding out what's going on. In the wake of the Jussie Smollett, which is, everybody knows what's going on with him right now, as far as his fake attack, hate crime that was against him that he orchestrated himself. It makes you wonder, is there any foul play with this guy's shoe? Who would want to make a shoe that would rip apart on this guy? I hope it's just bad craftsmanship from Nike. Nike can absorb the loss. I hope no one was trying to have any foul play towards this guy. Now, you got to remember, like I said, I gave you the guy's measurables, 6'7", 285, has a 43-inch vertical. The guy's explosive and fast, and, the guy's like LeBron James, but even bigger, and he has the potential to be just like LeBron athletically in the future. So maybe that's just it by itself, it in a nutshell, that all his weight and his size, and he ripped through the shoe, but just wasn't a good look on national television. Like I said, Nike's already down 1.8%, just today, and it's only 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time at the moment. So it could keep going down a little more. But it just makes you wonder, man. I can't wait for the findings of the investigation to see was there any foul play with that shoe? Because if you get a chance, take a look at that. It's all over YouTube. It's pretty much all over the internet. Like I said, the shoe literally, when he goes to plant to switch directions, it literally comes apart, and as he falls, the shoe goes up his leg, because it's still tied at the top, so it literally goes up his leg, and his full foot is exposed just from making one cut on the shoe. It exploded, pretty much exploded off of his foot and went up his leg. The shoe literally came in two, it tore apart in two. So it's I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that. And like I said, that couldn't be anything worse for Nike. But if any company can absorb that, it would be Nike, I just hope there's no foul play with that shoe. I don't know if anybody could set up a shoe, could mess with the stitching, could try to hurt a guy, it's so promising. I don't see why that would happen. Seems like a great guy. And I really shouldn't even be throwing that out there, but it just makes you to wonder in this day and age of scandals. And, like I said, I want to be the first one that coined the term Nike shoegate. And even if it's no foul play, just wondering what the heck happened to that shoe. The Paul George is a popular brand of shoe, and it literally exploded apart and caused a young man who may be the top draft pick in next year's coming draft here, or actually this year's coming draft, be the top pick, to actually hurt himself. And luckily it appears it wasn't major, like I said before, just a mild sprained knee, but it looked like he blew his knee out at the time. So keep your eyes peeled on this one, keep your eyes peeled on this one, keep your ears to the ground on this one as we wait to see what comes out. I would love to know if why that shoe came apart, and is that possible again? Is it something that Nike needs to look into in the little shops that they have that make these shoes, because that is, like I said, very unique, and it could have cost a man millions of dollars last night, because if he gets hurt, that is a serious issue, if he was to get hurt. If he would leave a lot of money on the table. Even though I'm pretty sure I read that he has an insurance policy that'll pay him a few $1 million. I think to the effect if he was to get hurt and didn't even go as high as the 16th round draft pick, that he would get a couple of millions off of that. But it still won't equate to what he will make if he's a healthy basketball player going into the NBA. Because right now he has the most hype on him since, heck, I can't even tell you, man. I haven't seen this much hype on a player in years. So just throwing it out there to you guys, and I'm coining the phrase right now, the Zion Williamson Nike shoegate. Once again, this is your man Roscoe Squeeze Off with the Barbershop Breakdown Show, the Sports Edition. Talk to you soon. Have a good one. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When we were trying to get this podcast off the ground, we had a lot of questions. How do we record an episode? How do we get our show on all the apps that people will listen to? How do we make money off of our podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing our podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with some great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading you this ad. Anchor, we started almost about a year ago, and it's been a godsend. Like I said, it's a one-stop shop for everything. You don't have to have any experience, and it takes you where you want to be. So if you've always wanted to start your own podcast and make money by doing it, go to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start. And join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. As they say, the barbershop is the cornerstone of the community. We discuss everything under the sun while bringing you that barbershop-style convo in a podcast. It's hosted by myself, Roscoe Squeezeoff, and my co-host, Rich Blackman. Please check us out on our Facebook page at the Barbershop Breakdown Show on Facebook. You can also join our private group from that very page. If you want to text us any of your comments or ideas, you can text us at 754-CALL-BBS, which is also 754-225-5227. We look forward to all your comments, all your ideas. If you have any topics or ideas you'd like to even be on our show, text us, communicate with us on Facebook. We can make it happen. This is the Barbershop Breakdown. You can go to our Facebook page, The Barbershop Breakdown Show. You can also friend us on Facebook by searching for Barbershop Breakdown. You can also go to us on Twitter at BarbershopBdown. And then you can email us barbershopbreakdown@gmail.com.